just talk to you for a little while. As per usual with this, I've got a blanket just here, and I'm going to tuck you in a moment with it, and then I'm going to just speak to you for a little while whilst you try and fall asleep. So I hope you enjoy this. It's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter one, so I hope that's not going to be too much of a problem. I hope that's not going to be too much of a problem. I'm not feeling too crash hot. If you saw the last video, I mentioned I was a little bit crook here. Let me just get you while I'm talking, get you all tucked in. So just cozy up, and I'll tuck you in. So in the last video I mentioned I wasn't feeling too crash hot. I'm still a little bit at the moment, so it may be a bit of a shorter one, just depending on how I feel. But even though I am a little bit crook, I still wanted to make sure you got some restful sleep, because it's no sweat off my back to sit here and chat for a little while to make sure that you're alright. So let's make sure you're properly tucked in here. There we go. And of course, make sure you actually tuck yourself into your bed. I can't do it for you, unfortunately, but I guess that's the next best thing. I just hit my mic stand. Okay, now that you're all tucked in, ready for bed, I thought I think I'll just start yapping away to you. So I hope you don't mind. I've gotten a kick lately. I've gotten a real bad kick. I don't know if you know this. Depends on how much of my other content you've seen. But I'm quite the Harry Potter fan. I've seen all 8 films. Grew up watching all of them. And then recently, a couple of years ago, I read all the books, and I fell in love with the books as well. The only thing I hadn't done was I hadn't listened to the audiobooks. So that's what I've been doing lately. I don't know if you have this. But you sort of have, well, I sort of have, I should say. I sort of have, like, when I'm sick, there's these things that I do, right? There's sort of foods that you want to eat, there's things you want to watch and stuff like that. And I've always found that Harry Potter is my, like, comfort movies. They always make me, I'm always in the mood to watch them when I'm sick. So, because I've been dealing with whatever's going on up here in my face, whatever I've been dealing with that's going on up in my face, whatever I've been dealing with, I get in the mood to watch Harry Potter. But because I still have to go to work, I'm not deathly ill. I still am able to go around and do things. I'm at work and I can't watch the movies while I'm at work. So what I've been doing is listening to Stephen Fry read the audiobooks. So I'm a couple of books in now. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it goes back. I think what happens is it goes back. I got really badly ill as a child. I got really badly ill once as a child. I must have been, well, how old would I have been now? I would have been like 11-ish, like 10 or 11, which I guess is Harry Potter age when he starts going Hogwarts. But yeah, it got to the point where I was like, I wasn't able to eat. I would just throw up immediately after eating. I would drink water and it would make me throw up. I remember waking up in the middle of the night and throwing up, and then she knew something was wrong straight away. So I was sort of bedridden for like a week. Or not bedridden, I was couch-ridden, would be a proper way to say that. I didn't spend any time in bed. I spent all my time on the couch, covered in blankets and with pillows all around me. So, thinking about it now, I was actually like really badly ill. I don't know what it was. Something, and like it was like a week of just like not being able to eat. Like I was eating basically crackers and like sipping ever so slightly on water just to sustain me. But during that, I spent the whole week watching the Harry Potter films. So I have a soft spot. I have a very soft spot in my heart for those films because of that. So, to bring the tangent back to what I was saying, now that I'm a little bit sniffly, a little bit coughy, I've been listening to the audiobooks for Harry Potter. And because I've already experienced the books before and the movies, it's kind of a nice new way to experience them, having someone read them to you. I guess also brings me back to my childhood, because my mum read to me the last book before the movie came out. I don't know why she did that. I think we asked her to do it because Half-Blood Prince had come out, but Deathly Hallows was still being made, or still yet to come out, and I wanted to know what happened because I was huge into Harry Potter, and so she started reading the Deathly Hallows. I remember reading the beginning of that. So I guess it kind of reminds me of that memory. And I've fallen asleep a couple times this week just listening to Stephen Fry's British voice that he has. His very characteristic, not characteristic, what's the word? Distinct. His very distinct British accent read the Harry Potter books. And it's quite entertaining because he does like the voices and stuff as well. He puts on a show for you. He's not just reading it word for word. If a character burps, he'll burp, or if there's a description on the way a sentence is said, he'll read it in such a manner. So it's very, very entertaining, to say the least. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I am enjoying myself immensely. I'm enjoying myself immensely listening to the audiobooks for Harry Potter. So let's hope I can get through them rather quickly, because it took me like a year to read all 7 Harry Potter books the first time I read them. So I'm hoping I can get through the books in audiobook version. Probably in like a month would be my hope. It'd be a month that I can get through them all and move on to the next thing. But yeah, so that's been my life for the past week. It's been Harry Potter and pretty much nothing else is all I sort of want to think about at the moment. Yeah. Another thing I've been sorry, I'll try and keep it down a little. I know you're trying to sleep, so I'll keep it down a little bit now. Once I talk to you, I'll try to stop softly speaking and just make sure I stay in a whisper. I'll try and stay in a whisper, so that way if you are almost passing out now, I'll stay in a whisper so you don't get disturbed. But yeah, this last week as well, I've sort of been really nostalgic a lot of things are just bringing me back to wanting to be a child again. I guess being an adult sucks. If you didn't know, being an adult sucks. You know, you got bills and work and dumb bosses and all that jazz. So, you know, my brain sort of wants to take me back to my childhood for a little while, just to sort of relax myself at the end of the day. And something I've been doing is listening to the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, which, if you don't know what Final Fantasy VII is, please educate yourself, as that's probably one of my favourite games of all time, is Final Fantasy VII, specifically 7. I played it as like an early teen. I would have been like 13, 14 when I played that game for the first time. Sorry. I'm gonna like cough, I'm trying not to. Yeah, I would have been like 13 or 14 when I first played Final Fantasy VII. And so, my brain really wants to like be in that moment. And so I've been listening to like Tifa's theme and Aerith's theme, as well as the bombing mission theme at the beginning of the game. And then I found on YouTube a live orchestra version where it's a recording of an orchestra playing themes from Final Fantasy, and it's really touching. Actually, the first time I heard Aerith's theme in like orchestral, like admittedly I like teared up. It was strange. I've never had like an emotional reaction to a song like to hearing music before. Of course, in the game there's a certain thing that happens, I won't spoil it, but that song plays at a certain critical moment in the game, and I guess it did bring back that feeling a little when I heard the song, but I don't tear up and cry at just a normal song. Like when I hear the version that's played in the game, I'm fine, it's no issue. The second I hear that orchestral, the big band orchestra like music, it's, I don't know, something hits me and I'm just like, oh, I just want to like tear up. It gets me so hard. That song is phenomenal. I recommend, I highly recommend, if you have never heard Aerith's theme, look up the orchestral version of it and just quietly listen to some music for a while. Put on your headphones, sit there calm and collected, and just listen to this piece of music. There's something about it that is so absolutely beautiful. I can't explain it. It's just it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. I kind of hope that I get to play it at certain special live events in future. But another piece of music from that game is Tifa's theme, and I for the longest time was obsessed with Tifa. Tifa was my girl. I love Tifa so much. Like, I don't consider myself part of like the weeb, like waifu culture thing. Like, I do like anime, obviously, with the manga and light novels, and the two Your Name figurines up there, as well as a stack of Blu-rays of Ghibli films, however you want to pronounce it. But I've never considered myself a waifu kind of guy. It's like really like odd when people obsess over that stuff. However, for the longest time, I had as my phone's lock screen was Tifa. I had like an illustration. It was like a fan art. I don't know who drew it, but I sure it was the first thing I put on the new phone every time I got a new phone. And so for years I just had this Diva fan art illustration as my lock screen. So I guess I did kind of like cringily have a waifu, which was Diva. But she's a badass. She's a real cool character. And oh man, I don't want to get started on this. The remake came out. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the remake. I will go on for like an hour of how much they did. That just made me mad. They did. Oh my god. Okay. So they did so much. Right. They did so much right. The combat in that game is fantastic. If you don't like turn-based combat, the original game may not appeal to you because it's random encounters and turn-based combat. So it's very jarring when you get into a fight, and then it's slow-paced, turn-based combat. Whereas the remake is so much more appealing to people because the encounters are all set up so you can see when you're about to get into a fight. You get into a fight and it's all real time, and then you press a button and then time slows to a crawl, and you're able to select your abilities like as if it's a turn-based strategy game. It's so good. The combat was fantastic. I remember doing boss battles, and like you swap between characters. You then like select, you queue up what attack you want to do, and then like they do it, and then you go to your next character, and you like pause this time, and you quickly select, and then like you queue it all up, and then you sit back and watch, and you see like Diva come in and do like a dolphin dive, and then like kick the thing, and then Cloud comes in, he does like a flip and stabs the dude, and then Barrack's like rah, and shoots his gun. It's so cool. It's so cool. However, they messed up. I don't want to swear. It's an ASMR video. I don't want to swear. They messed up real bad. The story. The thing they had perfect in the original. They didn't have to change it. All they had to do was take it from text, get voice actors to speak the line, and then put it in the new game. That's all they had to do. That's it. And they messed it up. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to change the story and make it a bloody a sequel kind of a thing where like the events of the original game all happened already, but now fate is causing it to go along the same. It's like, what? Why are there these dementors that are making sure time is the same? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? Sorry, I'm getting really passionate. I said I was going to go on a rant about this, but that game, man, it really irks me. It was so good and so bad at the same time. And then recently, the like sequel to the remake came out. I haven't played it. I was so. What's a good word? I was so distraught, I guess would be a good word. I was so distraught from the first Final Fantasy VII remake that I just, when they announced that they were making the next one, I was just like, nah fam, I'm good. I'm gonna sit back and just wait to see just how cringe this is, and I got no complaints, I guess. I reckon if I played it, I would be very, very passionate right now about giving you some opinions on it, but I didn't play it. I'm not going to play it, at least not anytime soon. I am, however, going to replay that original one for the PS1. Sorry, that was my also have an emulator, like on an old laptop of mine that has it on it as well. So I've got multiple copies of Final Fantasy VII, just so, in case I lose one, I can always play it on something else. So I'm thinking once I'm done with my Harry Potter kick, I might jump back on the Final Fantasy wagon and start playing that. But to go yet again, sorry, I go on real bad tangents, don't I? I guess that's the point of this. You're trying to sleep, I'm trying to ramble off some thoughts that I'm having. So, whilst you're sleeping, to go back to what the original thought was, I've been listening to the soundtrack of some of the songs from that soundtrack from the original game. There's a plane. Give me a second. Plane's gone. Sorry, I was just kind of in my own world there for a minute. I don't know if I'll keep that in or not. Sorry. What was I saying? The plane came and distracted me, and then I started singing Adventure Time songs. Final Fantasy VII soundtrack is good. I think that's where I was going with that. Let's leave it at that. The Final Fantasy VII soundtrack is good. And that is that. Did I mention to you why I played Final Fantasy VII so late? I don't think I did. You're right. You are sleeping, right? You are getting ready for bed. You are tired. You are closing your eyes and nodding off. That is something you're doing. I hope it is. But did I ever mention to you why I played Final Fantasy VII